Good morning and welcome to the show. Today we're talking about, I think it's the 9 traits of highly successful people. That's what I wrote on the title.
Correct.
Oh, amazing.
Good morning, you guys, and we missed you as well. It's so weird to not.
It was a very long time. It felt like a month.
I feel like what we did in the last 5 days, people don't do in a month.
I feel like that's why the last 5 days felt like a month.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Woo! But we're here and we're excited.
It's great to be back. It is Momentum Builder Monday. It is Mindset Monday.
Carrie, I espressoed espresso withdrawals.
Is that what you said?
You see what I did there? Oh my gosh. Sarit has straightened her hair today. It's a very big day.
Yeah.
I put mine up. It's very fancy.
Okay, you guys. Are we ready to get right into it? Do we have any housekeeping?
Are we done BSing around?
Yesterday we completed the In Motion Challenge. Who actually stuck to it for 21 days?
Drop a 21 if you completed all 21 days. What up, Chili? What up, Missy?
So good to see you guys.
What up, Scylla?
I want to see
That's what I'm going to call Priscilla.
Who completes what they start. 21 days on day 1 doesn't seem like a lot. But 21 days, for 21 days, makes you a completely different person. And that's the name of the game, consistency.
And should I ask you to comment if you started it but didn't finish?
Yes.
Let's get accountable here. And let's say if you didn't finish the 21 days, say, oopsie. It doesn't make you a bad person. Let's clarify that. But it just proves that it is more difficult to stick to something for 21 days than somebody would think, oh, just 20 minutes of intentional movement, which can literally be an intentional walk. Now, like adding up the minutes of walking from your car to the grocery store, which is like 30 seconds, plus walking through the grocery store, which is like 10 minutes. Actually, it depends on how long you're in the grocery store. Walking through the grocery store and doing your grocery shopping doesn't count. But anyways, that's not the point, is that people think that you have to like go crush it for 20 minutes, and that's not the case. So all we're trying to do is build consistency in a discipline. Discipline is doing something even when you don't feel like doing it.
Yeah.
Because you know that it needs to be done, and it is more about holding a promise that you've made to yourself than like discipline, like getting smacked on the ass with a ruler, like discipline. You didn't do it. This disciplinary action.
Right.
So
consequence.
It's really just a matter of sticking to something.
So for anybody who didn't complete it, take a second to ask yourself, what happened?
What had happened?
Because guess what? We're going to have more In Motion challenges, and next time, like, use this lesson to complete the 21 days. It's all in here. And here's why, trying to avoid failures is just an amateur way of thinking, because if you don't fail, you don't learn. And that's why so many people never start something, because they're like, I'm scared to fail. But failure, like for those of you guys who didn't who didn't go for 21 days straight, you failed.
You failed the task.
Yeah.
Success is completing the intended task at hand. The completion of an intended target.
So what you got to do is you got to extract the lesson from this and ask yourself, okay, what happened that led me to not complete it? And what will I need to do next time? Because here's the thing, you guys. In life, we all have unexpected shit happen. And that's why we say that it's not about the weight that you lose, but who you become in the process. Because it's easy to go hard on day one when everybody else is with you. But when shit starts to happen and people fall off and you have to endure it on your own, now that makes you a different person. And that is why so many people who want to lose weight never really get there. Because for one, they don't have the right support group. And for two, they don't have the right mindset. So when challenges knock at their door, they're like, oh, well, I guess this is not for me because this is not perfect. No, it's not about being perfect. It's about asking yourself when shit goes sideways and there's a hurricane, okay, when that hurricane, knocks at my door next time, how am I going to be better? Mm-hmm. So why don't we just transition off to the 9 traits?
It is okay to make mistakes. It is not okay to not learn from them.
Yeah.
In this group. So, mistakes are inevitable and failures are inevitable. And if you're going up, you're going to make mistakes and you're going to fail. Because the road is bumpy and you don't know what to expect. But what do we learn from each bump? What do we learn from each turn? What do we learn from each trip that will make us better on the next round? So imagine it as like a track, like a race track. Mm-hmm. And when you go around the racetrack for the first time, you're like, oh shit, there's a turn here. Oh shit, there's a turn there. Oh, boom, speed bump. Oops, didn't see that. Right? But then as you continue going around it, like some people will be like, oh shit, I got thrown around all the directions. I'm just going to fuck this is dumb. And they stop. Mm-hmm. But if you go around the track again, you get smarter. And then you go around the track again, and soon it becomes literally second nature. You're like, I know this turn, I know that bump, I know where I have to slow down, I know where I got to take it wide, I know where I need to hit the brakes, I know where I need to speed up. And that's where we're at in regards to our health and fitness and why in this industry, we consider ourselves literally the best. But I'm extremely biased and I don't know every single person in the world. So maybe somebody exists. I doubt it. But what I'm saying is that you have to keep going around the track. You have to go around it again and remember what had happened the first time. And just get really good at it.
Yeah.
Then it's like walk in the park.
And just and then one small reminder before we get into today's topic. When you fail, don't you dare to ever give up. Okay, so you went around the track, you're like, shit, I got a flat tire. Like, what does the pit crew do immediately? There's a flat tire, okay, switch the wheel, get back right at it. You're behind now, but what are you gonna do? You're like, oh, well, I guess I'm out of the race because things didn't go my way. No.
Oof, that grosses me out when people have that attitude.
Life is not about always winning, but winning is a mindset. And winning means that you're going to keep going even when shit goes sideways, even when shit is not ideal. Again, it goes back to the concept of the tortoise and the hare. The tortoise knew that he had a disadvantage, but he kept on going. Meanwhile, the hare was like, okay, I know that I'm fast, whatever. Shit happened. Let's say, tweaked his ankle. He's like, okay, I can't run at 100 miles per hour. I might as well stop. Dude, if you just keep going, even when the situations are not ideal, you're going to get way farther than anybody else will. And that is what makes us different in this industry. Because
we
don't teach speed, we teach progress. And that is what brings around speed. Progress over time. What?
You stole my joke timing. Doesn't work anymore. What really makes us different is that we are all tortoises. We are all Curtis the tortoise.
And if you have the right attitude, then feel free to add a rocket to your turtle shell.
And you get really smart.
Amen to that. Okay, so traits of highly successful people.
Okay.
If you guys are, sitting down at home, I would recommend that you maybe grab a notebook. And before we get this party started, think about people that you look up to who are really successful. Like, what traits do they have? And see if it is in alignment with what we're going to talk about today.
What qualities do they possess? What do they do when they wake up? What do they do before they go to bed? What does the structure of their life look like? Things to think about.
Mm-hmm. So trait number 1 goes back to the 21-day challenge. They have discipline. It's easy to go hard on day 1. But it's hard to go slow on day 20.
But it's hard to go easy on day 20. It's just hard to go.
Yeah.
Because, I woke up late. Because the kids got in the way. Because I'm really busy at work. Because I had to take the kids to soccer. Because my dog shatted all over the floor and I had to clean it up and that was unexpected.
You know why discipline is hard? Because discipline requires you to be creative when things are not ideal in order to make sacrifices.
100%.
How many times, and that's why, if I coach with you one-on-one, you know that I'm a hard coach. I'm not here to baby you and tell you it's gonna be okay. Look, dude, when you do shit, I'm gonna call you out on it. You don't sign up to work with me in order to feel good. You sign up to work with me because you want to get results, right? But man, the amount of times I heard, I had a late night at work or this happened. I'm like, so for one, that's why all of you guys need to learn to plan in advance because shit's gonna happen regardless.
Yeah, it's
okay, when shit happens, what sacrifices are you willing to make? What sacrifices are you willing to make? Because progress is not going to happen if you are not making sacrifices.
It's really a matter of priorities. You're willing to sacrifice to the degree that thing is a priority for you.
Yes, absolutely.
If you are bleeding out and you are by yourself and you want to live, you are going to walk to the hospital with no foot. Somehow you will hop on one leg. So really what it comes down to is where is the task at hand on your list of priorities? Because that is the degree in which you will be willing to sacrifice. For example, Tammy. You all know Tammy, Jarrett. Tammy, your health is worth it. Jarrett. So grateful for you. And she's moving. And she had literally 2 weeks notice to not just move a house, but move across multiple states to where she's never been before. Needed to sell all of her shit. And she did it in 72 hours. Everything. An entire gym, couches and shit in 72 hours. When you want something bad enough, you find a way to get it. Otherwise, you just don't want it bad enough. And that's okay. It doesn't make you a bad person. It just means you don't want that thing bad enough. So don't say you want it bad. Mm-hmm. If you say, I want to lose weight, but you're unwilling to sacrifice your Sunday morning donut or your cheat meal or your whatever, then you don't really want it. Would you agree? Okay. Discipline. Number 2.
Fortitude. That is the courage to keep going despite of adversity.
Despite pain or adversity. Mm-hmm. The courage. This shit hurts. I would say, and then even within that.
I'm going to give you a great example of fortitude. Okay, sorry.
The word courage is in fortitude. Having the courage, which means acting in face of a fear or uncertainty, regardless of the amount of pain it may cause or adversity that may come. Fortitude.
I'm gonna give you guys a great example of fortitude.
Let's go.
I'm gonna blow your mind. Because most of you guys think that in order to have a good workout, you have to burn 1,000 calories and you have to be in pain. Now, if you didn't learn how to train right from the beginning, then chances are that if you're starting to work out when you're in your 30s, you're probably gonna face some kind of injury. Simply because your body is probably messed up. Just
no matter what.
From modern living. Now, how many times do you hear people who literally like end up falling off track because they got injured and they're like, I can't run 5 miles today, so blah, blah, blah. Fortitude means that you fucking foam roll your shit and you treat your regeneration protocol like it's a workout. But they're like, no, but it doesn't burn blah, blah, blah calories and blah, blah. I'm like, no, dude, like you just... Like, that is what fortitude is. You are courageous to do something that you're not used to that will give you long-term gain. The whole point of regeneration is to allow your tissues and your cells and your muscles and your joints to heal so that you'll be able to do what you love to do 40 years from now. But people don't know how to think into the future. They can barely think within the next 4 minutes. They're like, it doesn't make me sweaty and it doesn't make me sore, therefore it's not working. I'm like, this is not working.
You can have mental pain, you can have physical pain. So the mental pain of an injury is, fuck, this sucks. I have to modify everything. Who's been there? I couldn't work out for almost a year. Because every single thing I did hurt.
You did such a good job.
Hurt. And I still tried. I had literally an ultimatum. Get surgery or lose control of your entire left leg. So I was like, well, fuck it. I guess I'll try to do whatever movement I can that isn't like gonna wreck me. So it's a matter of, in that mental pain as well, saying, okay, like, how can I control me? And how can I continue pursuing my mission regardless of my feelings?
Oh, how can I continue to pursue my mission regardless of my feelings?
That is good, huh?
That is so powerful. Hold on.
She got to write it down.
Yeah.
Good
that
thing.
Shit's going on Twitter.
Better make a tweet about it. Neck injuries suck, so frustrating. Oh, there was no neck in that, but injuries do suck. Dude, I've had to modify modifications. That gets to you. When you're, especially like as a high-level competitive athlete, and you're the one that always does this shit like the hardest or most difficult way, and you have to modify, there's the modification, and you have to modify that even. Like, there's a certain amount of mental growth that comes from having to do that over and over and over again. And that is where you are building muscle. It's your mind muscle.
Yep.
You can build your skeletal muscle. You can build your mind muscle. Mm-hmm. It's going to be one or the other or both. Mm-hmm. If you're injured, you got to build your mind muscle. You got to get creative. Reach out to people who can help. If you're building your skeletal muscle, that shit burns. It's painful no matter what. It's uncomfortable no matter what. Mm-hmm. Fortitude. Number 3.
Persistence.
Ooh.
The ability to continue on a course of action.
Regardless of your feelings.
Gotta fucking keep going. Shit went sideways. Don't quit. Don't say it's game over. When you say that, you're letting your feelings control you. It's all mindset. Saying, feelings, shut up. I'm gonna keep going anyways. I'm not perfect. I'm human. Okay, whatever.
Next time you say, I feel, and then you follow it with something, I want to challenge myself to do this. But the next time you say, I feel, and then you follow it, whatever follows that, I want you to ask yourself, is my action dictated by whatever just followed, I feel? And is that action that is dictated by the feeling going to move me forward or hold me back? That's all I have to say on that one.
It's all about managing your feelings and emotions. And
so-
that's why weight loss is like such a big struggle for most women, because women, we're more controlled by our feelings for the most part. We're a lot more emotional than men are. But like a dude, you tell them do this, do that, they're a lot more likely to compartmentalize and say, okay, I gotta do it. But with women, it's like, I want to do it, but I feel that I'm like, shut up.
So,
But I used to be that way too. Like, I totally get it.
but the key word that you said was controlled by. Because, wow, Mr. Farter.
Fucking fart.
The key thing that you said though is controlled by. It's okay to have feelings. If we weren't supposed to feel them, we wouldn't have them. If you weren't supposed to feel mad, anger wouldn't exist. If you weren't supposed to feel sad, sadness wouldn't exist. Okay? So it's okay to feel them, but to be controlled by them is where we get sticky. And to be derailed because you're being controlled by them is even worse. Now, you need to feel. And sometimes there is a time and a place for when you gotta feel what you feel. The loss of a loved one. Maybe you miss your workout that day because you wanted to be with them when they took their last breaths. I don't mean to be morbid, but I know that this has happened to people. So it's a very real thing. Feel it. You need to feel to heal, but you also need to talk about and express it in order to heal. Then you can get back to you. So there is a time and a place, right? But most of the time, when we are controlled by our feelings, it is not benefiting us. You gotta weigh emotion and logic.
I believe that as women, we have to use our emotional intelligence as an asset. However, most women use it as a liability. They let their feelings control their relationship with food, with other people, with their bodies, blah, blah, blah. Like, no, use your emotions to detect danger for your child when you are able to see things into the future that they are unable to. That is emotional intelligence, but not caving into like an entire jar of chocolate because you had a bad day. No, that is not emotional intelligence. That is letting your emotions control you.
That's an inability to deal with certain emotions.
Yeah, and it's a skill that you have to learn.
Right, and emotions as an asset also is your ability to connect with people who can help you and people who you can help.
Yep.
So we're using our emotions as an asset right now to connect with you guys to help you to understand what we've been through, what we know is a struggle, and how you can overcome that. So I challenge you to think about, like, make a conscious effort to assess the emotions that you're feeling about something, and when you want to let those emotions dictate an action. And is it bringing you closer to your goal or further away from?
You said another really great quote that I had to write down.
What is it?
You need to feel to heal. I'm like, man, she's full of it today. That is powerful. God is speaking through you today. I love it. Okay, so we talked about persistence, yeah?
Yes.
Did we talk about the next
Nope.
one?
Number 4.
Courage.
Courage.
The act in the face of danger.
Or fear. Or uncertainty.
Yep.
Or doubt.
Yep.
Or discomfort.
Yep. Gotta be courageous.
Yeah. And you know what? A lot of you guys have had courage. Think about any of you are in any of our programs. You've signed up for anything. Doesn't matter if it was the Badass Fit Body Nutrition Program for $37. Doesn't matter if it was the Rise Above program for free. Doesn't matter if it's the Inner Circle for $1,500 or $3,000.
You had the courage.
You had the courage to say, for some reason, I'm going to trust these women. I don't know everything that's involved or what exactly it's going to look like, though I do my best verbally to describe it, which does no justice. Those of you who are in the inner circle know. You've had the courage to say this feels right, and even though maybe I'm scared, even though I've tried a lot of other things and I've spent a lot of money on shakes and pills and vitamins and all this stuff, even though I know based off of my past experience that this could happen again, I'm going to jump. And for that, we're truly like, it's invaluable to us, your trust. And we're extremely grateful for all of you just for being here. To take that first step is the scariest because it's completely in the dark. I've already done keto. I've already bought the RP strength. I already did Weight Watchers. I already paid for isogenics. I already did this and that. What's going to be different about us? But you trusted. That is courage. And each courageous act then follows. Like you have to continue to have that courage because there's always going to be something unknown. Once you master one track, there's a new track because you've reached that goal. You've accomplished that goal. How many of you have joined this community, ENS Army, and achieved a goal that you had set out to achieve? Now what? You got to continue to be courageous to continue moving forward. This is a Seahawks blanket. Yes.
Courage.
Yep. Okay, number 5.
Commitment. So many times people fail to take action simply because they lack one thing and one thing only, and it's called commitment. Action follows commitment, always. Without commitment, you can never achieve anything in life.
I must expand on what I was just talking about with courage.
Yeah.
Because with commitment is a lot of people don't have the courage to join or jump into something because they're not committed.
Right.
How is a very philosophical way to say this? Courage exists only in the presence of commitment.
Absolutely.
Because when you are committed, it doesn't matter. I'm going to keep trying. Even if I fail again. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people are scared. Oh, I don't want to let myself down again. The only way you're going to let yourself down is if you're not committed to the thing that you're wanting to achieve. Mm-hmm. Because Sarit will always say, it starts and ends with you.
Wherever you go.
You are the reason you fail, and you are the reason you succeed.
Amen.
And if you can understand the beauty in that, like when you can actually commit to something, that is beautiful. Because nothing can prevent you from getting what you want when you're committed. Nothing and nobody. Time, we don't know how long it will take. But you're also the only reason that you fail. And it's because you're not committed. What?
I'm thinking about the Kevin Hart. I'm going to give you what you want. I'm going to give you what you want. But first.
This how you gonna do me? Huh? Okay, if anybody has not seen Kevin Hart's Irresponsible. Is it Irresponsible? I think it is.
That's so good.
Anyways.
It's so good.
Ah, shit.
But, by the end of the day, the most successful people are not the ones who had it easier. They're not the ones who had more money. They are just the ones who are more committed. Mm-hmm. And by the way, the closer you want to be to more successful people, the more committed you have to be. Because it will require a sacrifice of more resources.
Greater success equals greater sacrifice.
Yep.
Simple.
Yep. So I'm not saying this to generalize, but I do want to make a statement.
So say...
This is why we do a lot of free things, because we want to give everybody an equal opportunity. However...
And selfishly, we want you to invest in our programs because they will help you. But we know that we need to prove it to you first.
Yes. And we want to give everybody an equal opportunity.
Yeah,
but the reason why we also have paid programs, aside from the fact that we know that we deserve to be paid for adding value to your life, is the fact that we want to protect those who are more committed. Because if you're more committed, you're less likely to make excuses. And guess what? You're like anybody who had multiple breakthroughs in any of our programs, you had a breakdown before you had a breakthrough.
Oof.
And if you're not committing your energy, your time, and your money, there's no way in hell when you see that edge of the cliff and I'm gonna tell you, jump, bitch, you're gonna be like, I'm gonna stay here. You ain't committed. But I'm like, no, you take that step. I'm telling you, you're gonna fly. I've done it. Like I fly every time. No, I'd rather stay here. Okay, you're not committed. You wanna fly? You gotta make sacrifices. In order for you to make sacrifices, you gotta be committed. And a lot of times, this is just, again, a side note, that your level of commitment is represented by how many resources and how much of your resources you're willing to sacrifice. And by the way, you guys, everything that we teach you, we do daily. Except that the amount of sacrifices that we make is 100 times bigger than y'all's.
We can't say that. We don't know. We don't know that.
Sure.
But what we do know is the greater success somebody has that wasn't given to them, which by the way, I don't think is really success. It's called a gift. The more shit that had to be overcome.
Yeah.
We did not wake up like this with like really great eating habits and a strong mindset and discipline and commitment. We didn't wake up like all this shit has to be, you have to sacrifice to get to this step, then to this step, then to this step, then to this step. And the more success you've accumulated or created for yourself means the more shitstorms you had to endure.
Yep.
Which requires all of these 9 things we're talking about. Number 6.
Visionary.
Ooh.
And that is the importance of being in a positive environment, and I'll tell you why. And this is from my own personal life experience. In order for you to be successful, you have to live in the future, not in the past.
Yeah.
In order for you to become a visionary for your own life, you have to be present. And when you're in a negative environment, you can never get yourself into a present state. Never, ever, ever, ever.
Say that again. When you
are in a negative environment, you can never get yourself into a present state. And if you cannot get yourself into a present state, you're always going to be basing life based off of the past. And that's why for anybody who, for example, if you just have a bad relationship with food, you should not be focusing on weight loss. What you should be focusing is fixing your relationship with food so you're at peace. Because there's no way in hell that you can see that 6-pack if carbs are fucking controlling your brain. There's no way in hell, because every time you see a carb, every time it's offered to you, there's a war. There's a war. You can't be present in the state of, oh my gosh, I have abs, I look like a fucking badass. And I'm telling you all of that from personal experience, because I used to be just that. Man, I was ruled by anxiety. until one day I committed, and ever since then, every single day, by the way, I commit and I recommit and I recommit and I recommit. It's easy to commit one time, but to recommit every day, that's a different story.
Emily, when we had our interview with Emily Abbott, she said we live life forwards, but we can only make sense of it backwards. However, if we're not going backwards, there's no need to hold on to baggage that is dragging and slowing you down from moving forward. It's good to remember. It's good to remember the past. Otherwise, you don't know how to improve from your failures or your mistakes. But to not hold on to it. If you're holding on to it, you're carrying it behind you. Like, how much shit are you? You need other people. Because sometimes you need to have a conversation with somebody else to be able to visualize for yourself. Sarit is this for our business. All of the amazing programs that you guys do, all of the awesome workouts that you guys do is coming from this dome. The reason you get it is because of this dome. So it's just a testimony too to not being afraid to ask for help, not being afraid to ask questions to other people, even if it means you have to be the visionary for your own life. You can't let somebody else tell you how you have to live. So there is a part of you that has to be that. Now,
you can think bigger when you're being surrounded by people who have already walked the path that you want to walk on.
Yeah, and when you can have a good, honest conversation with a friend, like somebody who's actually really, truly supportive of you, and, you know, like, I'm going to share a story about Jerry because I know she won't care. Jerry recently came on full time with us on our team. She knew that being surrounded by these people, hang on just a second, guys. I'm going to do something. All right. We should be good now. Jerry knew that by surrounding herself with us was going to help her expand her mind to actually create and get what she really wants in life. You know, so that's, yes, congratulations, Jerry. That's awesome. And, you know, it's
courageous.
It's really courageous. But what I'm trying to say is that, like, sometimes for you to see your own vision for your life, you need to be surrounded by the other people who can help you to dream big, who can really truly be supportive of you. Oh yes, what I was talking about is her dad. She had a conversation with her dad. And now some of you will have a conversation with one of your friends and be like, you're crazy, you shouldn't do this. Oh my God, it's so risky. Are you sure? Like, you're leaving a stable job with a good paying whatever, and you're gonna and you're just gonna leave it behind for this thing that's unknown. It's not unknown when you commit. We left stable jobs that were really well paying at Equinox to go on this journey that we had no idea how to do. I'm glad I didn't know, because if I had known, I don't know if I would have done it.
I want to say something about stability.
But her dad, so her dad was like, you gotta, I'm proud of you. You know, you have to do, he's like, are you sure? Okay, go do the thing, girl. You know, and that is true support. So surround yourself with those people, and that will allow you to think bigger and become the visionary for yourself.
Stability, and this is again from my own life experience, stability is something that you create for yourself through courage and through massive persistence and massive action, because we did have really stable jobs. But imagine if we stayed in those stable jobs. That now is gone.
Hey, are you guys glad we left those stable jobs?
You can all create stability is what I'm saying. Especially if you live in the United States. If you live somewhere, you know, in the Middle East,
yeah,
like, you know, just the country's laws may prevent you from doing that. And that's why we want to be so freaking successful, so we can help all these women and freaking pull them up. Because they do not have the opportunity to speak for themselves, even if they have it all inside their head and they know they're capable. When they walk out that door, they might be stoned to death. Not you guys. Stability is something that you can all create if you live in this country.
We're all privileged to live in this country. I don't give a shit what color you are, what race, what nationality, what religion, what size, what shape,
what age,
what hair color. We are all privileged to be in the United States of America. Doesn't matter who the goddamn president is. We are all privileged.
Amen. Okay.
Because you can speak for your damn self. And you can make choices for yourself. Other people might not agree with those choices, but that's life, baby. Doesn't matter. I'm white. People don't agree with my choices. You're black. People don't agree with your choices. It is not your color. We are all privileged to live in the United States of America.
United.
Please let us be united. We are the ones who get to determine, by the way, this is not political, but I'm saying it does not matter who a president is. We are responsible for how united we are as a community. Because guess what? There's one motherfucking president and there are billions of people. And there are billions of U.S. or how many U.S. citizens do we have?
Like 350 million.
350 million to one. What you gonna do about it? Okay, that's all I have to say about that.
Okay. Next up, the ability to handle disappointment. And that goes back to, you know, managing your emotions.
Wait, is this number 7?
Yeah.
Okay, 7, the ability
to handle disappointment. How many of you guys have been good with your nutrition for 1 week and you're like, let me step on the scale. I feel like I dropped 5 pounds.
This is good.
And then you step on the scale and you're up 1 pound. How many of you guys in the past went sideways because of that? You didn't know how to handle disappointment. In life, you're going to be disappointed all the time. But what are you going to do about it? How are you going to filter out those disappointments, and how are you going to gain control over that?
Disappointment. Sadness or displeasure caused by the non-fulfillment of one's hopes and expectations. Where does your expectations come from?
I did good, therefore the weight needs to go down.
And we talk about this all the time, but focusing on the outcome versus the action. You know you did the right action, and when the outcome doesn't match because of your expectation of what the outcome should be based off of your non-expertise of the matter, I'm talking specifically about weight loss, you're disappointed. But you know you did the right thing because you can feel it. This is where feelings are good. You know you did it. Integrity, right? You're like, I took the right actions. I did the right steps. Everything feels amazing. And when you feel amazing, when you jump on the scale, just don't even get on the scale. You already know you're doing right. Just keep doing right. Step on the scale after like a couple months. Give yourself some time.
But most people are not going to stick through for a couple of months.
True. Be patient.
Yeah.
Is that one of these?
Well, it's the concept of discipline. You lack step number 1, discipline.
Okay. Number 8.
Ooh, wow! Number 8. And this is why we do what we do. Confidence.
How do we
you
get
guys,
confidence?
if confidence is something that you earn by overcoming things that you're not able to do before. And your body is a manifestation of how you overcome your mind and how you overcome your urges.
Get this.
What?
This is amazing. Okay. I just looked up the definition of confidence because I'm curious. What's the definition of confidence? I feel like I know what confidence is because I feel it, but what is it? So defined, confidence is the feeling or belief that one can rely on someone or something, firm trust. It means, okay, so check this out. I think about confidence. I'm like, oh, confidence is like when you walk into a room and like, you're really confident, right? And I'm like, well, I don't have a better description. So I looked up the definition. But confidence means you can rely on and trust yourself.
Yes.
You can rely on and trust yourself, and that is confidence. And the reason that we lack confidence, this is amazing because we always talk about weight loss, and I'm like, and we say it's not about the weight that you lose, but who you become in the process. And yes, we want to look great, but why do we want to look great? Because that is the symbol of us trusting ourselves and relying on ourselves and holding our commitments to ourselves up until the goal reached.
Amen.
Confidence. Boom.
Confidence is a means to freedom. And this is exactly why we do what we do. Because you know what? If you don't look good a certain way, you are not going to take on opportunities like, I don't know, maybe hiking uphill for 10 miles or whatever. Because you're not confident that your body is going to be able to keep up. So you deny yourself of opportunities that will help you to grow. And, you know, I want to just real quickly tie this with regards to money. And this is why, like, we're so passionate about the money conversations as well. Because how many people do you know who end up who choose to stick themselves in an unhappy relationship because they are financially unstable and they're not confident in their ability to produce money?
To provide for themselves.
Yes. Confidence means that you can rely on yourself to do anything, be it to walk from one continent to the next, to be wherever you want to be, whenever you want to be, with whomever you want to be, and know that you will rise to the top. You ain't got confidence, none of that will happen. But here's the thing. If you don't know how to say no to a cookie, how the fuck are you going to be able to make $1 million just saying? No way in hell.
Cookie.
So, confidence.
Number 9. Right?
Yep.
Number 9.
The ability to solve problems. And this is what weight loss is. It's solving a problem.
All success requires problem solving. This is why it's the 9 traits of highly successful people. Because every single day there's a damn problem. Every single day. If you lived a day in our life where we were like heavily in work, which is most days, you will see how many problems we encounter on a daily. How many problems? Somebody wants a refund. Oh shit, one of our websites is down. Oh, somebody didn't get an order fulfilled. There's problems all the time. Problems. Solving problems literally all day. And it is your ability to solve those problems and not just take them at face value and say, oh, because of this, I couldn't achieve this. No, because of this, you didn't solve the problem you needed to solve to get over it. Mm-hmm. Through it, around it, under it, past it, over it. I already said over it.
Yeah. And by the way, problem solving is a skill. The more successful you become, the more problems you will have to face, and the bigger the problems you will have to face. And that is why, for anybody who says, oh, you know, I'm just scared of failure, I'm like, well, sounds like you're not committed. Okay, commitment, that was step number 5 to learning how to solve problems.
Who wrote all these down? Give me an emoji hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Nah. Did you
guys find today's episode useful? If so, give us a yes or a thumbs up or something.
Or an amazing review, or share it with somebody.
Well, I was going to ask them.
I have a really important housekeeping if we're done with this.
Yes, we're done.
Yes. DJ, hand.
In conclusion, if you want to be great, accept the fact that it's going to happen over time.
And believe in yourself.
Yeah.
Believe in yourself.
And if you don't believe in yourself, then find somebody who can believe in you before you can believe in yourself.
If you're listening to this, you have found somebody who believes in you before you believe in yourself.
How many of you guys in the inner circle I will never forget this, so many times, after you guys have overcome big life things, you're like, thank you for believing in me before I believed in myself.
Yeah.
Sometimes in life, you guys, and this is why, don't try to do it by yourself. It's the stupidest thing. It's the most time-consuming thing. It takes up so much energy. And by the way, it is so costly as well to try to do it on your own. Find somebody who can believe in you before you can believe in yourself, who can pave the path for you and be the visionary for you, so that you can do what you gotta do in order to clear your own space so that you can become that.
Yeah. You guys, we're really grateful for you. Mm-hmm. And there are some times where we go really hard verbally. But I want to bring it back around full circle to just let you guys know we get extremely passionate because these are all things that we've struggled with.
Yeah.
These are all things, and it's important for you to understand that we're human. And we still have to fight through this list of 9 things. The more you do it, the better you get at it. And you never, the journey never gets easier. You just get better, you get stronger, you get more efficient.
More resilient.
Yeah. So keep going up, you guys, one step at a time, one day at a time, 1 hour at a time. One decision at a time.
One decision at a time.
One decision at a time.
Yep.
And when you need help, it's like the time where we want to reach out the least, but need to reach out the most.
Yep.
And I've seen some of the biggest breakthroughs come from people reaching out when they didn't want to. Because immediately you have this lift. Let this community take weight off of your shoulders if you're struggling with something. And let us help you to overcome, because we are all stronger together.
Amen.
Thank you guys for watching. Guess what? I got word that the new mugs, the black ones, are going to be shipped this week. I think today. But if not, definitely the beginning of this week. So, yay, get excited. Your mugs are headed your way. If you haven't got an I Had Espresso with Erin and Sarit mug yet, you can go to erinandsarit.com to check those out. Mm-hmm. As well as whatever other stuff we have on there. And there are some new things being heated up under the surface.
Being brought to life.
So, that's going to be exciting. And also, I'm just
trying to think, what do we have on the calendar?
I'm gonna give them a sneak peek. Thank you, Tammy, for dropping that. You guys, we're gonna be doing a live class on December 1st. We're still putting it together. Nobody's even gonna really start hearing about it who's outside of this community or watching this or listening to this until next week. But why hold a good thing away from y'all? So on December 1st, we're going to be teaching a live class. It's going to be webinar format.
This class was actually inspired by the raw transformation, because a lot of you guys are already asking. This week we're getting into the second half of the raw transformation. So congratulations for everybody who is in it. But man, it really goes to show how you guys are becoming visionaries, because you're like, what are we doing next?
What's next?
Well, guess what? We will always have a plan for you. But, this was inspired by the raw transformation, but we're like, you know what? If this is going to add value, why should we limit it?
for those of you who were on the other one that we did late June, the very end of June, it's going to be similar, but it's going to be like a progressed version of that. So kind of like going from the rise above to the burn zone, or from burn zone 1 to burn zone 2. It's like, it's still going to be good for people who are in their beginning phases, but there's going to be a progressed element so that it's also amazing for people who are a little ways along in their journey, so that everybody can kind of benefit in this. So it's going to be really cool. It's going to be on December 1st. Mark your calendars, but you will get more information about it starting next week. Boom!
Yes. But you guys, as you know, we keep on showing up for you guys because really our intention is to help you. You guys already know this, that we are on a mission to transform the lives of millions through the same movement, nutrition, lifestyle, and financial habits that have transformed ours. Our mission is to pull you up with us. Whether you want to be pulled up, that's up to you. But guess what? The reality is that if you want to be more successful, you will also have to pull people up with you. Otherwise, you're going to have to let them go. So if you know that today's episode added value to you, and you can think of at least one person who will benefit from listening to this.
If you thought of one person while listening to this other than yourself,
do us a huge favor and just share this with them. If you're watching this on YouTube, share the link. If you're watching this if you're listening to this on podcast, share the link. It only takes 2 seconds. You are helping to help somebody else get better.
This mission isn't like, man, I heard something, or I had a thought this weekend while we were in Miami, and it was that bosses push and leaders pull. Mm-hmm. And it is our duty and obligation to be the best leaders we can, to walk the path before you and say, hey guys, look out for this shit ahead, but help pull you up. Mm-hmm. So if you have felt that pull, remember, it's only lonely at the top if you don't bring others with you. I want to be at the top. We sure as hell don't want to be lonely at the top. And that's why this mission isn't about us. It's about us.
Yeah.
It is bigger than all of us. So that's why every single share that you guys do, every single time you talk about it with your friends, if you're at happy hour or whatever, if people have happy hour, I don't know. It means so much to us that you guys talk about it or share it and that you support it, because this mission is beyond us. It's beyond us too, and it's beyond this whole community. So thank you guys for showing up. Mostly for yourselves. Thank you guys for sharing and helping pull others up with you.
Amen.
So we will see you tomorrow for another episode.
Tomorrow is Q&A day. Just a reminder that if you have any questions, please fill out the form. Tammy, I'm not sure if the form is already dropped and is on the page. I think it is in the announcement.
It's in the announcement section.
But fill out your questions. We will be sure to answer them. You guys, we hope that you have a beautiful start to your week, a strong start to your week. Remember, greatness is something that you create over time. So regardless of what happens to you this week, remember this. You're in charge of how you're going to respond to it. Have a great week, you guys. We will see you tomorrow at 6:30 a.m.
Bye.